NY Expo. Thank you to the generosity of Marco Renda, who donated a booth to us at the last minute, I might add. We're thrilled to be here. This has been an excellent opportunity to speak with all kinds of people from all different walks of life. I mean, this is a medicinal expo, but we are meeting potential activists, people that are maybe not quite there yet, but are very interested in getting more involved. A gentleman said something quite interesting to me yesterday. He said that this is a tide that will not be turned, and that to me is absolutely true. I think that, well, we are Canadian. Is absolutely, there's 2.5 million cannabis consumers in Canada right now, and we need to get everyone out and get them involved in legalizing this drug, or not even a drug, it's an herb. We need to get people involved in this. It would be so beneficial to our country in so many different ways, beneficial to the world, as a matter of fact. It's a food, it's a fuel, it's a fiber, it's a medicine, and these ridiculous laws need to be ended.
Yeah, exactly. And now for medical patients specifically, this is a medical hemp or medical marijuana and hemp expo. In Canada, obviously, there's a struggle that's been happening with medical patients here. Maybe speak to that a little bit. What's going on politically, Stephen Harper, the medical side of things, and you know why this is good for that.
Well, you know what, Jim, we're for complete re-legalization, and one of our campaigns right now, and I'm sure everyone at Cannabis Culture is very familiar with the mandatory minimums. And so NORML Canada has been fighting the mandatory minimums. I started with them in January. That was my wake-up call. I live in the prison capital of Canada. We have 7 facilities there. They closed the prison farms last summer. It was devastating. I'm a farmer. I'm very much an environmentalist, and that was my wake-up call to get busy. So we are now again fighting the mandatory minimums. We expect that the Omnibus Crime Bill will be introduced this coming fall. We're asking our membership to please start lobbying, start talking to their MPs and their MPPs. I mean, start getting out there and talking about how devastating mandatory minimums are going to hurt all Canadians, not just cannabis consumers, not just medicinal patients, but all Canadians because of the costs. And that's how the election was called, because they wouldn't reveal the cost of the crime bill. And we'll never know the cost of the crime bill because it goes way past any amount of money. It'll be devastating to our landscape of our country, families. It's a terrible, terrible idea.
Yeah, it really is. And so things like this Treating Yourself Expo obviously help to normalize the use of cannabis in many ways.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've spoken with, I don't want to say how old I think they are. They could be 60, they could be 80, and obviously young people, but people from every single generation. And I think the importance of joining any kind of activism group, especially for people, I'm 47, people that have been living with cannabis prohibition for so many years, and they don't want to see their children and their grandchildren having to experience the same ridiculous prohibition. And so that's why we want people to start getting more involved. Absolutely.
Awesome, and so people can go to NORML.ca to help get involved. Yeah. And so maybe just speak a little bit about the relationship with NORML in the States. You guys are the same entity, different entity?
Well,